Today's Professionals brought to you by The Basement Doctor.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Professional. Today we're going to talk about the Basement Doctor. So that means in the studio with us is John Clements.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. You want to talk about sump pumps and whether or not it, or I should say they are working.
Yeah. We've kind of hit some weather lately that, like today, for example, while we're shooting this commercial, it's just been coming down buckets.
Yeah.
Last night, and people's gutters are overflowing because the stuff that falls off the tree in the spring and stuff like that clogged it up.
Yeah.
It's critically important to make sure that your sump pump's working. I mean, I say that over and over again, and you would think it's common sense, but people don't bother to sit back and think, well, how old is my sump pump? You know, if it's 7 years old, 8 years old, they're not a real expensive repair. They're not an expensive replacement. And when you think of what it provides for you, it's smart to say every 7-ish years, just buy a new one. Just replace it ahead of time. Well, you don't want to wait until you blow the engine on your car to change the oil.
That's true.
And I guarantee you when your sump pump breaks, it's raining.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand together, you know.
Murphy's Law.
Yeah, Murphy's Law. Well, rain is what causes the sump pump to activate. Right. Well, when it dies, it's going to flood your basement.
Right.
And if you don't have a battery backup to the sump pump or some other alternate power source for the storms that, I remember July 4th, 1976, growing up in Cleveland.
Yeah.
An enormous storm comes and it just basically wipes out the east side of Cleveland. You know, and nobody's got power for days. And telephone poles are down, and usually this is the time of year that we get those weird freak storms.
Yeah, we do.
Well, if your sump pump doesn't have an electricity and it's raining, you're going to flood your basement. If your sump pump dies because it's old, you're going to flood your basement. Put a battery backup on it, and that solves both those issues.
Yeah.
Because if the sump pump dies, the battery backup will run and keep your basement dry.
It automatically kicks in, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like having a second sump pump or a spare sump pump inside the liner on top of the existing one. And we can come in and we can just simply put in a battery backup on top of your existing sump pump. We can also replace the one that you've got, and we use a Zoller pump. It's the #1 rated pump in America. Very high quality, made down in Louisville, Kentucky. But it's a free estimate. We're happy to stop out and see anybody.
Good advice. Thank you, John. That's our report for today for the Basement Doctor.